Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So before anything else, as most of you know, the results from the November 2023 CFA Level 2 exam came out on January 17th. So first and foremost, I want to congratulate all the candidates who passed the exam. Well, yeah, it was a tough one for sure. I think the pass rate was around 44%. So many congratulations to everyone. Indeed, the level 2 exam is a very, very hard challenge, and so you deserve all the credit for it because it was a really, really tough one. And of course, nonetheless, as you can imagine, based on my previous videos, I strongly advise you that you leverage all the knowledge that you still have from the curriculum of the level 2, and you use that for your preparation for your level 3 exam that I think the next window comes in August of 2024. So make sure you register as soon as possible because at the end of the day, you by having that kind of knowledge, you can still leverage it. And when it comes to addressing the topics of the level 3, I think it's going to be much better for you to go through those repeated instances of the curriculum much faster, and so you can focus a little bit more on the topics that you haven't even heard of, and especially when it comes to the preparation of the essay questions, because as I mentioned in my other previous videos, for me the level 3 is the hardest one, the hardest exam of all three due to the essay type questions. And so for me, it would be, if I were you, please register as soon as possible. Make sure you cover every single topic correctly and effectively, and prepare as much as you can for the essay type questions, which are very difficult to answer correctly. For those of you who didn't pass, this video is precisely for you. The focus of this video is for you because I want to use this video to share with you the story of a young lady who approached me on LinkedIn some way back, and I believe that many of you can relate to her situation, not specifically the exact situation, but in some way to a similar situation that you might have been going on in your life, and so this may ended up having a detrimental effect in your performance in your exam. And so I want you to use that example basically to remain focused on your preparation to get another shot at the exam and ultimately to achieve whatever you want in your life. All right, so this is very important, and I want you to stay focused on the job at hand and make sure you brush this aside and basically go for it and do your best. All right, so to go to the story itself, back in the fall of 2022, I believe it was November at the time, this young lady came to me, sent me a message on LinkedIn, and apparently she had recently passed the level 1 exam at the time, but she was facing a lot of issues in her life, and so she was debating whether she would be able to prepare adequately for the level 2 exam at the next exam window, which I believe it was in May 2023. And so just to give you an overview of her situation, before COVID, so before March 2020, she was working at an equity analyst in what she claimed as her quote unquote dream company. And then, over a very, very short period of time, because COVID came, she lost her job. And due to COVID, of course, she was unable to find another one because where she lives in her jurisdiction, companies were not hiring new people, and so she found herself out of the job and unable to find another one. And so during this time, she had very little money, and she was living also with her parents. And by the way, she told me her parents were also struggling a lot financially, and so this was a very precarious situation for her, and it was a very, very harsh situation. Later on, apparently, she managed to find a job in the public sector. However, given the difference between her job as an equity analyst and a job in the public sector, she found her new role to be quite boring. And in addition to that, the workplace she found herself in was extremely toxic. And so this situation left her without the frame of mind required to focus on such a demanding task, which is a preparation for a CFA exam. And one of the hardest, which is the level two. And to make things even worse, she was also trying very hard to find another job because of this whole environment she was facing in her workplace. But apparently, after having gone through a lot of interviews, she told me once that there was one time she went through 5 interviews in a single recruitment process, and at the end she was not picked for the role, which is of course quite frustrating. And many of her applications entailed doing many case studies, and up until that point, it was to no avail. She couldn't get an offer, even going through all of that work and all of that toil and all of that tension and pressure. And there was even one occasion she told me that after four, I think she told me after 4 rounds of interviews, she was initially told by the hiring manager that she got the role, but soon after, the hiring manager came back to her and told her that they were going to select another candidate, especially because that candidate had already passed the level 2 exam of the CFA, which completely destroy her emotion and her frame of mind, is the way she was feeling. And as a result of all this, her level of confidence was extremely low, and she was beginning to wonder, naturally, if she was good enough to succeed in her favorite field of work, which is basically doing equity analysis in a company that, of course, provided it with this kind of job. So I'm not going to share the details of what I told her at the time, because I think that's not the most important thing here. But later on in June, I think it was June 2023, so it was after the exam window for May 2023 had gone by, she sent me a message telling me she was going to prepare for the next exam window, which is November 2023. And even though I'm not aware of what happened ever since we first spoke back in the fall of 2022, I received a message this week from her that she told me that she passed the exam, the level 2 exam. Personally, I couldn't help but feeling great for seeing someone overcoming so many difficult moments in her life. And as you can imagine, we cannot wish to anyone what she went through, so many harsh situations. And in the end, she ended up getting what she set out for, which is amazing. So she persevered. She showed the mental fortitude and resilience to go through all this. And in the end, she got what she set out for. And so this is absolutely amazing. And so that is why I want to ask everyone who didn't pass the exam, please, not don't give up. All right, if you did your preparation correctly, and so other things got in the way, life happens, and sometimes you don't feel as well or as prepared at the specific day of the exam. Many things can get in the way of a candidate that may resulting in him or her not to pass the exam. So if you did your preparation correctly, for sure you can still recall a significant portion of the topics of the curriculum, because it's only been 2 months since you last study and prepare for the November 2023 exam. So make sure you leverage this knowledge. Focus on because you got your score report from the CFA Institute. Look at it. Make sure you focus on the topics you perform the worst, and make sure you cover any other gaps in your knowledge as effectively as you can. All right. I could elaborate on this a little bit more, but many of the tips that I could give you in this regard are also on other videos of mine. So If you want to know what tips are, please make sure you watch those videos, so that I don't need to repeat myself here and make this video too long. But that's the main message that I want to give you. Of course, not disrespecting all the candidates that passed the exam and now are going to prepare for the level 3 exam. But for me, the main purpose is to lift your spirits and make sure that you keep carrying on no matter what happens. This when you got into the program, when you registered for the level 1 exam some time ago, you had a purpose. And so make sure you don't cut back on that purpose. Make sure you keep focused and keep on your journey and go as hard as you can. Make sure you do your best to get the charter, because that's your dream, that's your ambition, that's what you set out for when you began your journey some time ago, when you began preparing for the level 1 exam. So that's all from this video, folks. Feel free to leave your comments below, like the video, subscribe. As always, I'm also available on LinkedIn if you have any questions. So please stay strong and make sure you do your work to the best you can, so that when the next exam window comes around, you are able to ace the exam and get flying marks, and you can then go smoothly towards the level 3 exam. All right. Thank you very much, and best of luck for the next exam. Thank you.